All right, so it's Monday, November 20th at 8:19 a.m. and I'm going to read the Cosmic Love November 2023 Cosmic Bros post. So you got the necessary prerequisites. This post mainly has to do with the semantics started and discussed in the last entry in Cosmic Love September 2023 BAM. It's important to read a few entries of Cosmic Love to see how the semantics develop. To bring you up to speed, I wrote a book about the science and why I think the planet and stars are conscious. It basically has to do with their magnetism, which I postulate could make them conscious. I talk about the evidence and reasoning in my book 108, The Story of Discovering Earth's Consciousness. Sentientism, which was developed here on the blog after the book, is the belief that Gaia is conscious and communicating. Through this perspective, I think if Gaia communicates, she is doing it through telepathic randonauting and points of realization. Basically, the planet could act as a god to humans, reading our minds and affecting behavior by highlighting cognition, essentially. Where I left off. Last entry, I talked about my top 5 cosmic loves and how I was including Janelle Monáe into the top 5. Well, we have another new cosmic love, but this time it's a man. This will be my first introduction of the Cosmic Bros. These are usually male, personally plutonic vessels of Gaia. Last post, I talked about how Janelle's post looked to be semantically reflecting the corporate rule cover, while more semantics have built off that anchor. October's coincidences. October's coincidences pretty much all happened on one day, October 30th to be specific. I swear it always starts with Haley, or at least it has been lately. I made some content in the forest on November 29th. I posted the link and linked Earth short form. I posted the link to the Earth short form video in the forest on the 30th on Instagram at like 1 p.m. Then around 4 p.m. I was listening to La Russell, and when he said flow like water, I sell it by the vowel. In Hustlenomics, I opened up Haley's story on Instagram to find a picture of Haley in the woods drinking core, which is a water product, which is just water. It was also Michigan's first snow of the year that day. And I left the tweet I made about it in the blog. Yeah, so basically I made some content in the forest for Earth. And then the same day she comes out with a content in the forest drinking core. So later at 7 p.m. I was watching this video I linked the video from my daily dose of Philip DeFranco when I noticed another coincidence. What Phil was reporting was verbatim reflecting my hook from Class Warfare on my Corporate Rule album. At 15 minutes in and 11 seconds, Phil says they want people to mark down the license plate of Jewish people, follow them, and mark down where they're staying. This is eerily similar to my lyrics from Class Warfare, which are terrorize them at their homes, follow them, track their phone, make them scared and always hiding when they're unsuspecting strike, hack their home security and break in them secretly, drug them while they're sound asleep and rape them of their dignity. Well, this is terrifying. What else am I going to predict? To be clear, I didn't have the anti-Semitism in there, but basically they're going after the Jewish people. But I'm saying it's going to happen to rich people, period. Like, this is just an example of that. So, Jewish are always conflated with being rich. So, to be clear, I'm not putting in the anti-Semitism. That's just what comes out. But it's still the same thing, basically. Unfortunately, there's anti-Semitism. To be clear, I talk about it in my music as a warning so it doesn't happen in real life. Calling it how I see it and attacking the system in my music is the remedy. Otherwise, I have to use names, faces, and point fingers. I could just not divulge all this and it would still happen. It's not like it's happening because I divulge, or maybe it is, but no one is listening. I'm still basically talking to an empty void. Thrillin'. Then Connor Price posted Thrillin'. I've looked into what I believe Slender Man is while very mentally ill. I basically found people did horrible things to influence by Slender Man because they wanted to do it. I thought of Slender Man for some reason the other night, and before all this happened, and I thought to myself, Slender Man is basically blue. If you look at the original picture of Slender Man, which I put it in the blog, it came from a photo from a smattering of trees in the background that made it look like a man, Slender Man. There were kids in the picture, so it was said he was chasing them. So Slender Man is this kind of manifestation of wanting terrible things to happen to children. This also brings full circle to what I said in September, because Slender Man is after your children. And in this context, I'm saying Slender Man is blue. So like I said about the Goosebumps teacher possession after their kids from the last entry, this is the actual spiritual representation of Blue's morbid and sinister hate for Big Carbon's children. Big Carbon being big oil, coal, and gas. I wouldn't put it past Blue to have orchestrated Slender Man as a reprehense for global carbon pollution, but a Slender Man type figure is following Connor in his Thrillin' music video. Other similarities are that Connor talks about being a villain, and my album starts with the villain too. His background also looks like my album, replacing the pumpkin cloud with the moon, and I left pictures of that on the blog. Remember this would work by the planet and atmosphere communicating telepathically until they create a narrative in the media, if you know what to look for. Gaia told me to wait to post this to late November, which I did. The problem is she is saying I missed some of the narrative by not being vigilant. Back to Life, inspired by Haley, dropped Friday, November 3rd. You can hear me talk about all the previous coincidences up to this point in the Back to Life, November 5th, 2023 Sunday update. On November 4th, I noticed Connor put out a short form video to Trendsetter, and he had a scarf in it that is similar to Haley's shirt that I referenced that day that she's drinking core, and I put a picture of the tweet in the blog. November coincidences. On November 15th, Gaia yelled at me while I was brushing my teeth for not logging coincidences. There's been little things that I haven't been logging. There was something in Philip DeFranco I missed, but I'm gonna be better. I don't think they mattered, or it's really hard to explain, but apparently there might be a connection I'm not seeing, or she wants me to document to influence someone else. With that said, Connor Price is now officially a cosmic lover, cosmic bro. I decided to make that a thing. Other cosmic bros include La Russell, Snoop Dogg, Russ, and Philip DeFranco are probably my top 5. You obtain this status by putting out work that consistently reflects semantics and themes in my work that can be interpreted through Gaia. Connor has been popping up more and more in the Cosmic Love Log, so it's just natural that I make it official. I specifically did this now because Connor reflected my first point of realization. In his new short form content promoting his song Can't Give Up, he takes a sip of his water bottle as the song is singing about a water bottle. The very thing that started all of this with thinking it was the government stalking and now the planet was that I drank my can of pop at the same time I scrolled down to see someone drinking while I was on Facebook in my apartment in Ypsilanti in 2012. So basically, as I scroll down, I'm taking a drink, and as I'm scrolling down, I see a picture or post of somebody else taking a drink. I'm in coordination with my environment. That's a point of realization. Connor drank the water bottle as the other artist was talking about it. say this happens naturally and you recognize it, well, that's the point of realization. You realize you're in sync with something, or at least notice one coincidence, and like with me, they continue to happen and add up. You can find me explaining the November coincidence in my, and you can find me explaining the November coincidences and water bottle in the November 19th Sunday update. Connor responding. Overall, I feel as if Connor heard my song Rap Intelligence and decided to make some responses while complimenting my artistry. Of course, I feel the same way about Emma Watson half the time she posts, but I maintain that she is being a vessel by Gaia, probably like Connor is doing here. If you remember and been paying attention, I came out with my first EP called What Now on April 14th this year. In it, I talk about rappers that are currently popping. Some of them I like, which are at the beginning tracks, and some I don't, which are at the end tracks. Somewhere in the middle on Rap Intelligence is the blurred line where I act like I don't like rappers that I admire and compliment them in a demeaning tone. In the song, I basically go after Connor and say he's a goody two-shoes like Steve Martin. In a larger sense, I feel like Connor has been responding to my music since his Thrillin' release. I already talked about the coincidences in Thrillin'. Coincidences include how in Trendsetter he talks about being a bestseller, more like Read What I Wrote, which seems like a connection to my book. No misses would be like no misses like you don't miss the bullseye, but no misses like MRS. Would be no misses would be Emma, and I'm the competition that needs to get the message and a bigger boat. Basically, No Bad Side is a response to Rap Intelligence in the title. He is basically saying I have no bad side, using Rap Intelligence because the song is basically how I think he tries too hard to be nice and he should show some aggression. Then Can't Give Up is a spin the globe with the UK artist about how you shouldn't give up. The whole purpose and motivation of my music is to meet Emma Watson, who lives in the UK. Okay, I feel like if Connor is not doing this on purpose, he is my spirit animal, or at least my Gaia animal vessel for now, which is why I have made him a cosmic bro. I think it's kind of crazy that cosmic bro thing came up right as I'm about to release my EP All Homo on December 1st. Okay, I wish Connor and his family the best. I hope you're happy in Las Vegas, you bish. And that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my family. You're awesome. I love you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, you take care, all right? Peace.